Let me start with a confession that will save you years of frustration. Think about everything you've tried to stop the scratching, the yelling, the spray bottle, the clapping. None of it just failed. It quietly made things worse. And here's the part you need to hear. It is not your fault. You were handed cat training methods passed down for generations, methods built for dogs and for toddlers. But a cat is not a dog, and she is not a child. Her brain learns by a completely different set of laws. The good news is, those laws are well known. And once you work with them instead of against them, the same cat is re-educated surprisingly fast, in a matter of weeks, without a single raised voice. So let's be honest about what's really going on. Your cat is not spiteful, she is not stubborn, and she is not getting revenge on your furniture. The problem was never a bad personality. The problem is the method. Today we're going to run a quick audit, and as we go, we'll build two lists. A blacklist of the common methods that quietly destroy your cat's trust, and a white list of what actually works. One of those white methods stops the scratching in a single second, even when you're not home. Stick around, because at the very end, there's a small trick almost nobody knows. First, the one law everything rests on. A dog was shaped over thousands of years to please a leader. So your praise is a reward all by itself. A cat is a solitary predator. In her world, there is no leader, and she has no reason to obey you just to make you happy. But another mechanism works in her beautifully: association. After I did this, did I feel good or did I feel bad? You can't force a cat to submit. You can only make the behavior you want more rewarding than the one you don't. Remember that word, rewarding. It is the heart of the whole white list. And there's a second rule you must know, because it explains why almost every punishment fails. Call it the 2-second rule. A cat's brain only links an action to a consequence if less than 2 seconds pass between them. Anything slower, and the lesson simply never lands. Now put the 2-second rule against yelling. Your cat scratches the couch. You shout. She bolts. It looks like it worked. It didn't. If your shout lands even a moment too late, she never connects it to the sofa. What she learns instead is that you are unpredictable and sometimes frightening. And that guilty look on her face? Cats feel no guilt. That is fear. A flinch at your tone. Shouting goes on the blacklist. Then there's the spray bottle, the method everyone thinks is gentle. Through your cat's eyes, it's worse than you'd guess, because she can see exactly where the water comes from. It isn't the sofa punishing her, it's you. So she keeps scratching, just when you leave the room, and you've quietly turned yourself into a source of danger. Here's the formula to carry forward. Punishment should never have your face on it. So if punishment is off the table, we need the motive. Why does she scratch at all? Sharpening claws is only a third of the story. Scratching is 4 things at once. It's a manicure, peeling off the dead outer claw. It's a signpost, leaving scent, and a visible mark that says, "This territory is mine." It's a full body stretch, her morning workout, and it's how she releases emotion. When she's thrilled to see you or wound up with stress. Read that again. You're not trying to break one bad habit. You're trying to cancel her nail care, her gym, her diary, and her stress relief, all at once. You can't erase that. You can only redirect it. And here's the hopeful part. Owners whose cats never touch the furniture will tell you the same thing. When I first brought him home, I had to teach him. This is teachable. The word redirect is the very first item on the white list, and the key to everything that follows. Redirect where? Exactly, we'll get there. But first, the method I promised, the one that stops her in a single second. Whether you're home or not. Remember the formula. Punishment should never have your face on it. Here is its perfect form. Environmental correction. The unpleasant effect is built right into the surface. So it fires instantly, in a perfect 0 seconds, and it works when you're at the office, asleep, or across town. The arsenal is almost silly. Double-sided tape on the armrest, because cats can't stand anything sticky under their pads. One touch, and the paw pulls straight back. Foil or a smooth plastic film over the favorite spot. Unpleasant to the ear and impossible to grip. A tight, slippery throw that claws slide right off. And this is the quiet genius of it. The cat doesn't conclude that you are dangerous. She concludes that this one corner of the sofa is simply a bad, unsatisfying place to scratch. Your trust stays fully intact, not 1 gram spent, and the lesson runs 24 hours a day, without you lifting a finger. But blocking the sofa only says no. She still needs a yes, a place to do all 4 of those jobs. This is where most people fail. They buy a little post. The cat ignores it, and they decide posts don't work. Run this checklist instead. Height. She stretches her whole body, so the post must be taller than she is at full reach. Stability. If it wobbles even once, she'll never trust it, because in her world, unstable means dangerous, which is exactly why the tall T immovable sofa wins. Material. Most cats love sisal and rough fabric, but some prefer cardboard or wood. So watch what she already shreds. And orientation. If she claws the flat carpet, she's a horizontal scratcher, not a vertical one. Then placement decides everything. Don't hide the post in a far corner. Put it right next to the spot she's already attacking. To pull her over, make the post irresistible. Rub a little catnip on it, which works on about 2 out of 3 cats. Play with a wand toy right at the post, so she sinks her claws in and discovers the pleasure herself. Then praise or treat her within 2 seconds of a correct scratch. So that same rule finally works in your favor. Now the method where you don't train the cat at all. When your cat rubs her face on a corner or your leg, she's leaving calming facial pheromones. It's a signal that says, "This is safe, this is mine." And a cat almost never scratches a surface that already carries that mark. You can buy a synthetic version. As a spray or diffuser, treat that abused corner of the sofa, and to her it stops being a billboard and becomes a bedroom. But what if you've done all of this? The tape, the perfect post, the pheromones, and she still scratches. Then something underneath is driving her. And there are 3 hidden fuels to check. The first fuel is boredom. A cat is a hunter built for dozens of little chases a day. Trapped indoors with no prey, that energy has to go somewhere, and it goes into your furniture. The fix is 2 or 3 short hunting games a day with a wand toy. 10 to 15 minutes until she's genuinely tired. Play, feed, sleep. The second fuel is stress. A move, a new pet, renovations, a strange cat at the window. Scratching is how she self-soothes and reclaims shaky territory. Remove the trigger, or give her height, a shelf or a cat tree, because a view from above calms her more than anything. The third fuel is attention. If scratching the couch reliably gets you out of your chair, she'll press that button on purpose. So give it 0 reaction, and pour all your attention onto the behavior you do want. And please, before anyone suggests it, don't declaw her. Declawing isn't a fancy manicure. It's amputating the last bone of every toe. The fallout is chronic pain and a changed gait. She bites more because you took away her first defense. And she often misses the litter box because digging now hurts. Dozens of countries have banned it as cruelty. It earns the boldest mark on the blacklist. If you must. Trim just the sharp, transparent tips every couple of weeks, or use soft silicone caps. But with the whitelist set up properly, you almost never need either. So put it together. Protect the sofa with tape and pheromones. Give her a tall, stable, well-placed post she loves. Make it rewarding with catnip, play, and a treat in the first 2 seconds. Shut off the boredom, the stress, the attention. Give it about 3 weeks, and stay calm through the slip-ups. And now the part I promised at the very start. For months you've been quietly hurt. Sure, your cat was fighting you, choosing your sofa out of the whole home just to spite you. Here's the truth. A cat only marks the most valuable places in her territory, the spots that smell of family and safety. Your sofa is soaked in you, your scent, your evenings. the place you spend most of your life. When she scratches it, she is writing her scent over yours and saying, I live here. We belong together. I've made us one. That ruined armrest was never vandalism. It's a love letter, written in claws, in a language you simply hadn't learned to read. Now you can give her a post right beside the couch, and she'll scratch there, next to you, instead of on top of you. One last little secret before you go. When that post finally looks worn and ragged, don't rush to replace it with a shiny new one. A scratched-up post works better, because it's already covered in her own scent and markings. Swap it out, and you've thrown away her diary. Let the ugly one stay. So tell me in the comments, what does your cat go after? The sofa, the armchair, the carpet, or the wallpaper? And which blacklist method did you try before you knew better? Somewhere another owner is about to forgive their cat too. And if you want to understand what her other little signals really mean, stay with me for the next one.